Watch here on NBC with your daily news. Today's top story is regarding all-time low unemployment rates. In the most recent data poll, the nation has found itself sitting at unemployment rates under 5%. As rates continue to improve, so does the nation's economic performance. After coming out of a serious depression in 2013, this has been the nation's biggest turnaround since World War II. As unemployment rates decrease, inflation rates have become steady, sitting at around 2.5%, and GDP has seen a slight increase and is just over 3%. This rise in GDP can be seen as a result from increased consumer spending, as well as federal loan rates continuing to drop. However, now that the economy has begun to expand, we can expect that the future rates will begin to increase. So, if you're looking to buy a home, now's the time to get into the market. That concludes today's top story. We will now look to Leslie with an exclusive interview on unemployment.
Thank you, Samantha. Today I'll be meeting with the Democratic political correspondent, Nancy Evans. She will provide us with an inside look on the government spending that goes along with the declining rates.
Hello, Leslie.
Hi, Nancy. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, what our viewers want to know is what is the government doing to keep these unemployment rates so low?
Well, the government has been doing a lot to help create jobs and maintain stability. For example, the government has increased its spending to promote businesses both large and small. We've also started to invest in many local and national projects.
Oh. Could you go into detail about specific projects that you've invested in?
Recently, we've had trouble with droughts and harsh winters. The government is very interested in finding safer, more efficient ways of growing crops. We've been working a lot with agricultural interest groups such as the National Farmers Union and the American Farm Bureau, as well as many government-employed researchers.
Fascinating. I look forward to hearing more about it. Thank you for your time, Nancy. We'll now go back to Samantha with your daily news. If you're interested in hearing more from Nancy, we will be back for a more in-depth interview on our 11 o'clock news.
Give me your attention, baby.
Thank you, Leslie. Now we will hear from our NBC News reporter in D.C.
I miss the taste of the sweet life. I miss the conversation. I'm searching for a song tonight.
Thank you, Samantha. This is Taylor Giorno coming to you live from D.C. An anonymous source has confirmed that although our nation's economy seems to be doing well, we could be headed in a new direction. Yes, our unemployment has been decreasing, but at what cost? Our taxes have decreased to stimulate the economy, and government spending has increased to create more jobs. However, with less money and with more spending, our nation has recently accumulated a lot of debt. This same anonymous source says that this debt could take up to 50 years to pay off. This debt could be detrimental to the Democratic candidates of the upcoming presidential election. Our Democratic president allowed this huge debt to occur, which will reflect poorly upon all Democrats. Republicans are interested in decreasing government regulation, which will decrease government spending. If this trend continues, we may have a Republican in office in 2016. Back to you, Samantha.
Thanks, Taylor. That concludes today's top stories. We will now take a commercial break, followed by a look at this week's weather forecast.
I love my Nalgene. It never breaks. Why is that? Because it's made in the USA. Nalgene is an American company and is planning on building more factories and hiring more workers, creating more jobs for the American people. Our other competitors only care about making a big profit. We use our own resources and do all that we can for our employees, such as paying decent wages and making sure the working environment is safe. So do the American thing and buy Nalgene. In stores near you!
Do you want a Democrat who cares? Do you want a public official who will go the extra mile for you? Vote for Hillary Bush. She is fully invested in the best interests of the people. She's interested in creating jobs and keeping our schools and hospitals in great condition. Her main focus is keeping unemployment low by increasing our number of exports and by meeting more of the demands of our interest groups.
So come election day, you know who to vote for.
Are you unemployed? Are you trying to find a job? Then join employ.com.
I was unemployed for 7 years, and Employ.com found me a job in only 1 week. I now have a job in my intended major.
5 years ago, I joined Employ.com, and since then, I've moved up from a starting position at Chipotle to the vice president of the entire company.
Employ.com helps keep unemployment low and increases the quality of life. Up next, we have more exclusive interviews with those who found a job using Employ.com.